because I was big, they didn't have my size. So people started calling me lion hair. How am I gonna be like that? That is not Asian at all. Like, with the obsession with glutes, the one that commented on people's body or appearance, they are the one who are insecure. Hi, welcome to another episode of my podcast where we empower women to be bold, be brave, and be you. I'm your host, Ayu, and today we're going to dive into a topic that every woman, has been through this kind of topic since they were little, which is actually about body image, insecurities, and how we learn to accept ours more. But before I start, I want you to promise me something. If you watched and you enjoyed this episode, I want you to share this episode to someone that you care about. Okay, can you promise me that? So let me start with some facts that I found online, which is from a better health channels. So one is 80% of women feel not satisfied about their bodies. I'm talking about 8 out of 10 women not feeling good about themselves. Imagine the negativity around us as a woman when we grow up. That's quite something, isn't it? And two, about teenage girls and dieting. So the study has shown 50% of teenage girls resort to unhealthy dieting practices as young. They start as young as 8 years old, and it's because of the societal pressure to, conform a slim ideals, skinny body. Imagine 8 years old. So that's the two facts that I started with, but I can't say much. I can't say much about those two facts because it was all me. It was all me when I was growing up. I remember growing up, I always feel like I hated my body. It was never enough. And I spent years and years hating myself, my body, my hair, my skins and all that. And let me share this story when I was a kid. So when I was in primary school, I was this big chubby girl. I was overweight, for a girl my age in primary school. So I didn't have that many friends, but it wasn't really a big issue for me. I still have friends that I played with at home or at school, but I wasn't really popular or anything like that. And also, of course, I was bullied by some of my friends, but mostly not of my friends. Like they just say, some things about, fat or chubby or all that. But the thing that shocked me is actually I was bullied as well by my teachers and, some adults in my life, like grown-ups. They would call names and all that. And anyway, it's not about that story. So the story is, in my primary school, the girls were using this kind of like long skirt and long t-shirt. And we have to use this kind of like belt on our waist. So we have to use this belt every Monday morning assembly. So you have to use this belt. So I went to the shop at school. And because I was big, they didn't have my size. And it hurts until now, it still hurts. It hurt a little bit. But, I tried, their size, the small, medium and all that, but none of them fitted me. And so my mom had to DIY my belt. And I think because I remember this vividly, so I think it really did something on my brain. And also moving forward to junior high, I actually lost weight dramatically. I'm talking about 3 months dramatic weight loss. I was coming from, this short, chubby girl. I become this like skinny girl, like I was almost skinny. And also I started to do the dieting as well, which is like not eating as much. I started a lot of sports, which I like, but I also almost passed out so many times in my life because I wanted to be skinny, because I was that big chubby girl. I needed to change. And yeah, I sacrificed almost passed out many times for that. And again, I still didn't feel satisfied with my body. I don't know what's wrong with me. So it was like, yeah, I lost weight, and now what? And then move forward again to high school. I think if I looked back, I was okay. Like I was still skinny. I was around 49 kilograms to 52, for 3 years. But still, I wanted to be more and more skinny. I do not know why. And talking about the two facts that I started with in this podcast before, there's not much change, hey? Like, my story was way back. It was like more than 20 years ago. And now we are in 2024, almost 2025. And it's still the same facts, the same story. And imagine, we don't really change towards good stuff, do we? One more thing, and let's not even start it with how society made it even worse. The comments, the judgments, the whole, making you feel super conscious, on how you look. I mean, the beauty, we're talking about beauty standards in Indonesia, in Asia at that time. I mean, the beauty standards were unreal. Like it was early 2000s kind of like beauty standards. And if you were a woman, you have to be skinny, and had fairer skin tone to be seen. The magazine, the TV, the whole things that we see, they're kind of like shaping our understanding on how beauty should look like. And for Asian women, beauty was first skinny, tall. The fairer your skin is, the better, fairer skin tone, and blue eyes. Like, how am I gonna be like that? Like, that is not Asian at all. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I basically have to change race to be considered as beautiful or pretty and all that. And it's just crazy. I shouldn't have that beauty standards where I grew up. And also talking about society, and in my culture, in Indonesia or in Asia, I think, when someone hasn't seen you for so long, like your family or relatives or even friends, it's kind of like, and you saw them, or they saw you, the first thing they would ask is not, hi, how are you? Like, how's it going? How's life? Where do you live right now? Or things like that. No, it's more like, oh, you've gained weight. Oh, you're too skinny. Actually, your body was better before. Oh, what's with the acne? What happened? Are you stressed? And this is not something that I made up. This is questions that people actually ask me in real life. I didn't make this up. And I think a lot of people would agree with me. And it's all about physical appearance. That's all about. When you haven't seen someone for a long time, you shouldn't ask that kind of questions. Like, it's just definitely okay. I'm gonna ask that kind of question. I can't reply back because I'm not this type of person that say things like that to people. Funny thing though, I met a friend, like she literally owed me money. The first thing that she said to me after a long time, she hasn't seen me, was like, "Oh, your skin is now darker than mine." And I was like, what the hell should I say? I mean, sometimes that kind of question is just like mind-blowing. Like, I couldn't really know how to answer that. And yeah, maybe I still need to work on that. If you have any, any suggestions or recommendations, please reach me out. I still need to work on that. It wasn't until my late 20s, when the something finally clicked in. I started to change how I look at myself. I started to realize that my body didn't need to be fixed. It actually needed to be accepted so much more. So that's when everything changes, when it's not about physical appearance anymore. So it's actually about how good I feel in my own skin. And it's a game changer. I started exercising. Well, I've been exercising since I was really young, but then I started to exercise to not punish my body because it didn't look a certain way. I started exercising to celebrate it, to take care of my body. It's a form of gratitude, I might say, to my body, because I really want to take care of my body. What really made me feel strong, feel good, feel confident, and feel empowered. So self-care, actually, how I care for myself is now coming from a place of love instead of a place of insecurities and hating my bodies. I also do not want to spend the rest of my life hating my body. I heard this from someone, quite a long time ago. So when you are in your 50s, you will miss, or you will like your body when you were in your 40s. So when you are in your 40s, you liked your body when you were 30. So when you are in your 30s, you liked your body when you were 20s. You know where this is going. You got the gist. And it means that you'll never be happy with your current you, with your present you. And we do not want that. And I think this changing of a mindset of mine started when in my mid-20s, I started to focus more on personal growth and learning more about me. Learning one thing that is really important for me, I learned how to not give a fuck. Like, literally, it is a game changer. And also, I know this because listen to me on this one, the one who commented on people's body or appearance, they are the ones that are insecure. I'll repeat, the one that commented on people's body or appearance, they are the one who are insecure. And don't let it be you. Okay, now let's look at this role of social media on body image, right? And I do not think that social media has always helped us to get through this journey as a woman, because on one hand, you've got this account that talk about self-acceptance, the self-love and body positivity, which I love. On the other hand, there is this, trends or obsession with trends that seems like it's just focused on a certain part of your body. Okay, and okay, let me just say it. What's with the obsession with glutes, booty this, booty that, and that's how I see social media right now. It's like every fitness coach, not every, mostly of these fitness influencers or coaches, they are pushing this narrative, oh, how to have a big booty, and somehow your life will be perfect. But it's not. I mean, why is it with that trend? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love working out. I love going to the gym, and it's fantastic for everyone that is working out, either yoga, Pilates, everything. It's amazing. But when it becomes just to focusing to a certain parts of your body, like your glutes, it's easy to think that that's all matters. But in reality, it's not, like, it's misleading. It's not even realistic. It's important to ask ourselves, why are we exercising? Are we going to the gym to fit someone else's idea of beauty? Or, like the beauty standard whatsoever? Or are we going to the gym to make ourselves feel confident, to make me feel good, to make you feel happier in your own skin, to make you, or to be more independent when we get old? You see, there are so much more than just about physical appearance, which I think that's why we need to be intentional on who we follow in social media. Like, start unfollowing account that makes you feel shit about yourself, and start following accounts that when they're talking about health is actually more holistic and realistic, instead of just following the next trends. Before it was I remember this, before, a long time ago, it was like flat abs, and then it changes to a bikini beach body thingy, and then, okay, guess what now? You're right, glute, booty, whatever is that, or the hourglass body, which is actually about glute as well. So we have to be mindful about who we follow in social media and how they affecting us daily, about how we look at our body, ourselves. And also, it's not only about physical appearance. Come on, do you listen to podcasts? Do you read books? Do you heal yourself from the past trauma? Do you even try to be a better person, reflect, a better mom, a better daughter, a better auntie, a better wife, whatever, a better you? Like, come on, guys. So it's not about physical appearance. So let's actually, start unfollowing account in social media that make us feel shit. Okay, now let's talk about, confidence and insecurities. Confident doesn't mean that you have the perfect body, perfect hair, perfect skin. It's actually about feeling good when you feel uncomfortable with those things. It's about feeling good in your own skin. So confidence, it's actually knowing that your worth is not tied into your weight, the kilograms. It's not tied into your size or any other numbers. Your worth is not about that. It's your worth is also not about how round your glutes are. Like, your worth is so much more than that. The difficult part is when you have to be confident. When you try to find the confidence when you're feeling insecure about yourself. I had this story of me in junior high school. So there is like this person, I think more than one person. So I was called lion hair, because I have a thick a really thick hair and wavy. It's not straight, it's wavy, and I have this big volume of my hair. So people started calling me lion hair. And it sticks until now, like I'm very conscious about my hair all the time because of that. We all have insecurities and no one is immune to that. I mean, insecurities, they don't disappear overnight. It takes time to fight over all of our insecurities, and they come and go. Sometimes I feel good about my hair, sometimes I don't. And it depends on us, on how confident we are, and remember, your worth is not defined, on how you look. It's all about your story. It's all about how you overcome the difficult path in your life, how you change. It's all about your stories. It's not just about how you look. So I want you to pay attention on that and start, growing more that confidence within you. So to build confidence, start small. For me, the one thing that helped me at that time was I focused more on how I felt instead of how I looked. So when I'm exercising, I started to shift to, okay, what's my next goal? I want to be able to do 5 push-ups or 10 push-ups. So I focus more so much on my goals, on how I feel as well. I feel strong. I feel empowered. Oh, I did that 10 push-ups. Well done me, instead of the way I look. So let's redefine beauty and fitness look like for us as a woman. Forget the magazines or the social media, the misleading, the fake, influencers with, actually BBL and all that stuff. I'm not against that, but it's just like misleading, So let's focus on what makes us strong, what makes us feel confident in terms of beauty and fitness, what makes us feel empowered, feel good about ourselves. Oh, I want to be more independent when I'm in my 60s and in my 70s. So there you go. The journey to self-acceptance, self-love, and fighting insecurities is unique for every woman. It's very difficult to do. It's hard to do. It takes time because it was embedded, since our childhood, the beauty standards and all that. So this is what we learned today. 1, the fact that 8 out of 10 women hate their bodies, and that needs to change. 2, start taking care of your body because you love it, not because you hate it. 3, unfollow accounts in social media that makes you feel bad about yourself. All right? And 4, no one is immune to insecurities, and we should practice to be more confident in our skin more often. And remember, confidence is not loud. It's actually silence. It radiates. People can feel it, and you can feel it too. So thank you for tuning into this episode. And remember, if you like this episode, if you enjoy this episode, please share to your loved ones, especially the younger generations. All right. So thank you, and see you in the next episode. Bye.